rosters, and it's just going to be kind of fairly bog standard. We haven't got anyone from youth, so it'd be worth seeing if Olive maybe wanted to come up for an interview. But other than that, that's the only person I can think of. Um, it might be worth seeing if Olive wants to come for an interview quickly, but I mean that's other than that, that is. Yeah, well I'll say go live. I don't know when it hits like 17. When so when it hits 17 on the clock, we'll go live, and then I'll kind of run through the other bits first. Can you hear me all okay?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
How are you, Jamie?
I'm not bad. How are you?
Good. How's your travels back?
Long. Left home at like 8:30 in the morning at home, and then got here at like 8:30 at night.
Jeez.
So
Ah,
I think we're going to go live when the clock hits 17. So you've got about 15 seconds to
okay.
compose yourself. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome down here to Torrington, Wyoming. My name is Jamie Lambert, and I'm going to be your lead commentator for tonight. It feels so good to be back. I'm here with Olive Osmer of the women's volleyball and basketball team. Olive, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Jamie?
Good, not bad, thank you. So just kind of run me through what's life like for you as a dual athlete? You know, it's a lot of work. Obviously, you've got the volleyball seasons and the basketball seasons. They operate, thankfully, at completely different times. But, you know, how's that been? How's that the balance been?
Yeah, it's for sure. It's been really busy, but I enjoy it a lot. And I think having a junior college in my hometown that I've lived in my whole life, it's nice because I've been able to come watch both volleyball and basketball games growing up, and I like kind of know like what it's like here. And I've gotten to know Coach Larson really well and George Hamilton, but it's really fun. I mean, I kind of like staying busy. It keeps me doing things. So yeah.
Yeah, and you know, you say the fact that you like keeping busy, but obviously you've then got that on top of the schoolwork as well. So
Yeah.
from your perspective, how's the academic side of it gone as well?
Academics really well. It was good to end off the first semester of college with 4.0, and I always am there for my teammates to help them, and classes were really fun. And yeah.
Good, perfect. Well, you know, run me through very quickly about the volleyball season. Obviously, it's not the season that the girls would have hoped for, but just run me through how was that and how was the season from your perspective?
Yeah, volleyball. It was a little rough at the end. We were from the previous year of going to nationals and winning regionals. It was kind of sad not being able to make it to the regional tournament, but having all the leaders we did as sophomores, we had a huge sophomore group this year, and just having their experience helped us a lot learn, and just being there for each other, it made it fun. And like it's just the memories that make it better.
Yeah. And from your perspective, you're saying about the fact that you're all there for each other, and obviously you said that you help them with the academic side if they need it. How important is it for you to have that kind of camaraderie amongst the team and to have that unity?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, talking about the volleyball, obviously it not being the season exactly that you wanted, but what are your takeaways from that season?
My takeaways, I've lived in the U.S. forever, but I actually got to go to a lot of states that I've never been to, and we had some bus issues over the season, but I mean, like I tell my parents all the time, like I know it was kind of frustrating during the point, but it's just all the memories you make, and like when you grow up, you'll tell your kids all of it, so it's fun.
And just kind of give me a little perspective on what are your plans here on out. Obviously, right now you're out with an injury, which
Yeah.
very sorry to hear, but hopefully you get well soon. So what are your plans kind of going into this semester and then looking beyond that as well?
Yeah, so next week I get an MRI on my ankle or my foot, and possibly a surgery. Hopefully it's nothing like that, but everything else hasn't really worked. So I'm just hoping to be there to support my team if I can't be back, and it's been really joyful just being able to still be able to be with them even though I can't play, and I know I'm not out there to do what I can usually do, but I know I could just cheer them on and help them out and just finish the semester strong with academics for sure, and hopefully try and I'm able to graduate with you guys this spring, but hopefully I can come back and finish off a great volleyball season and basketball season.
Yeah. And obviously, just run us through the game today. Obviously, you probably would have been sat in with the team meetings as well with Coach Larson and stuff. So, with the scouting report and stuff, how are you seeing this game panning out today for the girls?
I think it could be really good. And watching film yesterday with the team, I think Trinidad, I know they're small, but we just went to Lincoln the other day and we played a small team, and it was a really close game. We went into double overtime and we won by 1 point, I'm pretty sure. So we can't overthink a small team because you never know what can happen. But I think it's really good for us to play them now so we can play more conference teams like LCCC, who they just played, and it's just going to help us for the future games.
Yeah. Well, perfect. Olive, thank you very much for giving up a bit of your time to talk to
Yeah.
us. Join back with us in a moment when we bring you the pre-game show. Perfect. Well done. Completion rate of their free throws from the line. One thing that we always talk to Coach Larson about is the defensive ability, or, well, even in the fact of the rebounding ability that this team has, and that shows with their average. the last week or so. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome down here to the Valpech Activity Centre here in Torrington, Wyoming. I'm Jamie Lambert. I'm going to be your lead commentator for today. And it feels great to be back with you guys here in Torrington, Wyoming. Obviously going home for the holidays. It's lovely to be home, but it is also just as nice to be back. Looking at the stats then for your two teams here today, we'll start off with your hometown Lancers. In 16 games that they've had so far this season, they've averaged 64 points a game, as well as being 36% from the field goal range, and beyond the arc being 29% on all of their attempts. From the free throw line, they have averaged a 68%, and one of the things that we speak a lot with Coach Larson about is the ability in this team to rebound their and the opposition's shots, and that shows with their 42 rebounds per game average, as well as the 11.8 assists on average per game. And it really just speaks as to how much of a unit this Lady Lancer team is. And looking at the Lady Trojans then of Trinidad State, who are your visitors tonight. In 12 games that they've played so far this season, they've averaged 47 points, as well as 34% from the field goal range, 31% from their three-point attempts. So that will be something that Coach Larson, I imagine, has spoken at length with this team about so far this year, or so far this week, into the lead up into this game. But one of the main weak points that is clear to see for the Trinidad State Trojans is they are 58.6% from the free throw line, which is, as we've spoken before to Coach Engel, it's well below that 70% mark that most coaches would regard as a good percentage. Only 5.5 assists per game on average for the Trinidad State Trojans as well. So it just shows how much more maybe of a team the Lady Lancers can operate in. Looking at their recent games then for the Trinidad State Trojans, they've won 2 games in their last 6, and they are recently coming off the back of quite a harsh defeat away to Laramie County, losing 78-39 in regular time. So the Trinidad State Trojans will be coming here in hope of vengeance for what certainly looks on the outside as a poor showing at LCCC. But for your Lady Lancers, they are 5 wins from their last 6 games, stretching back to November the 28th versus Miles College. Their only loss coming to McCook Community College, losing 63-50 on December the 5th. They're currently on a streak of 2 wins in a row, and they will be certainly looking to make that 3 wins in a row come the end of tonight. Well, let's then take you through the rosters for the 2 teams. We'll start out with the visiting Trinidad State Trojans. We have number 0, Alessa Cantoria. Number 1, Alaya Olawian. Number 2, Aina Lopez Cuco. Number 4, Blanca Orianas Ramon. Number 10, Sophia Moran Savan. Number 11, Callie Sharp. Number 12, Nylene Brown. Number 21, Ali Bishop. Number 22, Yasmin Santana Diaz. Number 23, Chastity Scott. And number 24, Gabby O'Hara. Head coach is Alvin Nyangyo. And now moving on to the hometown Lady Lancers then. Number 0 from Torrington, Wyoming, Olive Osmerer. Number 1 from Aurora, Colorado, Zahn Davis. Number 2 from London, England, Ria Saga. Number 4 from Leven, New Zealand, Taisha Tanira. Number 5 from Houston, Texas, Madison Bush Lewis. Number 10 from Denver, Colorado, Morgan Williams. Number 11 from Limerick, Ireland, Lucy Devoy. Number 12 from Taronga, Spain, Ariadna Martinez. Number 13 from Las Cruces, New Mexico, Lorena Villarreal. Number 14 from Denver, Colorado, Alexandria Mims. Number 15 from Bridgetown, Australia, Tessin Kilchenman. Number 21 from Madrid, Spain, Yaitha Paredes. Number 22 from Casper, Wyoming, Casey Parks. Number 24 from Salt Lake City, Utah, Ashlyn Tripp. And rounding out with number 25 from League City, Texas, Shamari Smith. Head coach is Coach Tim Larson, assistant coach by Sheldon Lee. And we are 3 minutes away from getting this ball game underway. And join back with us very soon as we get this game underway.
Do not be coaching effective. We request your cooperation by supporting the position officials in the following manner. Leave comments or vanity rates executive and other fees contracts with resident officials. Student athletes, coaches, and team representatives will not be called. starting lineup. Coach Trinidad State. Starting at guard, number 1, Elias Ford. Starting at forward, number 2, Nina Kuko. Starting at guard, number 4, Yolanda Ronnie Wayne. Starting at forward, number 2, Yasmin Santana Garcia. Then starting at guard, number 4, Gavin O'Hara. Now here's East Wyoming Golf Manager. Starting at the guard, number 2, Rhea Cigar. Starting at the guard, number 5, Madison Coach Fuller. Starting at the guard, number 11, Luke Moore. Starting forward, number 12, Ariana. And starting at forward, Jan Red.
Well, thank you to Coach Bill Engel, who's going to be up with us very shortly as my co-commentator for today. But just to run you through the 2 starting lineups then for the Trinidad State Trojans, it's number 1, Alaya Olawayan. Number 2, Aina Lopez Cuco. Number 4, Blanca Oranias Ramon. Number 22, Yasmin Santana Diaz. Number 24, Gabby O'Hara. Then for your Lady Lancers, it's going to be number 2, Ria Saga. Number 5, Madison Bush Lewis. Number 11, Lucy Devoy. Number 12, Ariadna Martinez. Number 21, Yaita Paredes. Martinez going for the 2 and no good. Quarters of travel on Martinez there. The Lancers showing good work there, good work ethic to win the tip-off. It's given to Ramon, drives towards the hoop and manages to make the 2. She's going to have an and 1 attempt from the line. As I reiterated before the start of today's game, just under 60% from the free throw line are the Trojans, and they made this one there. Ramon starting out this game with 3 points to her name. There's Devoy going out to Bush Lewis. Now Paredes. Paredes looking for an option. Off the rim goes to Martinez, and the putback layup is good from Martinez. Diaz hands it off to O'Hara. Goes out to Ramon for the 2, no good. And it's rebounded there by Yaita Paredes. Saga's going to go towards the hoop there and no good. Rebounded by O'Hara. Ramon now for the 2 and it is good. Very quick play to start out this game so far, both teams. And Paredes there going towards the hoop, deemed to be fouled there by number 22, Santana Diaz. Bush Lewis going to throw it into Martinez, goes out to Paredes. Paredes trying to kick it out, but that is stolen away by Gabby O'Hara. He's now going to bring it forward now for the Trojans. Stolen away equally by Madison Bush Lewis. Paredes going to go for the 3-point attempt, and it's good. Makes it a tied game at 5-5, and we're now joined by Coach Bill Engel. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. How was your Christmas break?
Had a great break, and hopefully you have the same.
It was lovely being back at home, but as I said to the viewers earlier, it's very nice to be back also.
Oh, absolutely. We're happy to be back on campus, and back to work with our guys, and really anxious to watch our girls tonight.
Paredes will get that out to Bush Lewis. Bush Lewis now looking for an option. Chooses Saga, going from deep 2. No good, but Paradise there trying to fight for it. And she, I think, does end up getting the decision.
Our girls have been playing really well, and excited to see them tonight. I think our girls are really going to make a run at this conference.
So, Coach, I mean, they've won their last 5 games out of 6. You know, just run me through how important is that for a team to get such a momentum builder? As Martinez, with what a finish that is.
Well, I think it's great for the girls. You know, anytime you can find a way to build some momentum moving into the conference season, I think they're obviously our girls have won some tight games, and there's one double overtime game in the Southeast. And, you know, they're doing, at times, coach would say they're doing just enough, and other times they're really playing well. And they're putting some good things together. Madison Bush Lewis is, you know, as good a player as you're going to see around the Region 9, and same with Yaza, and then you know, the other girls are very, very good as well.
Must be said there, I mean, quite what you were saying about the team working really well together. Saga there with a good steal away and then an easy layup for the 2, and makes it a 4-point game for the Lancers. Ramon there just struggling to keep possession of the ball.
Yeah, girls playing hard, trying to win these 50-50 balls on the ground, and you know, I just think our girls are pretty well connected. Those 5 girls on the court are really playing hard, playing well together, and it's really fun to watch.
Victoria then to bring in the ball. O'Hara. The Trojans goes out to Ramon, who tries to go towards the rim, but no luck. And then out off of Paradise there, so it's going to be a Trojan ball.
Yeah, a little miscommunication up top with our girls. One girl couldn't figure out if they were man or zone, but you know, these are little things I'm sure Coach Larson wants them to get through and get ready for the conference season here.
So, Coach, just run us through what your training regimens have looked like. Obviously, the men and women had, I think, was it 2 weeks at their respective homes for Christmas and kind of then into beginning a new year.
That's correct.
So just run us through what have you been up to on the way on since coming back.
You know, really, we get them back on campus and you know just start back in with the fundamentals of the game, and tend to forget a few things. And you know, it's always interesting to see which guys have really been working hard over the break, and which guys maybe took a little bit more of a break. And you know, run them through some conditioning, some fundamentals, and you know, you really get back to the team aspect of it. And you know, we feel good about our guys. We just got to keep working and keep getting after it.
Bush Lewis then going to kick it out to Saga. Saga, some great moves there to get away from our defenders and finishes the ball really well.
Yeah, what a great move by Rhea to get inside and make the little Euro off step and get a layup there. That was not an easy play, but she made it look easy.
Timeout there, I think, called by the Trojans. Full timeout. So, Coach, just run us through your last game at Southeast. How did that go from the boys' perspective? And then, obviously, watching the girls, how did the girls play?
You know, if you talk about the women and, you know, talking to Coach Larson, you know, that was a game, you know, when we played Southeast here that our women won, I think, by 32 or 38. And they went out there and had a pretty good first quarter. It looked like they were going to put them away again, and then just never quite could put them away. And Southeast played pretty well. And I think they had a kid who may have become eligible or got healthy at the break, and she was pretty good, little point guard that handled it, shot it, scored it. And maybe we weren't quite prepared for her, but you know, I think Coach Larson wasn't overly happy with his girls as far as their effort, but at the end of the day, you know, they won in double overtime. I think he was really pleased with the fact that they stuck together, and you know, when they wilted, they never did. And so I mean, from that perspective, I think it's a great learning lesson. Just listening to Coach Larson talk to the girls, I think that's what he stressed about it. You know, as far as the guys, you know, offensively, we had a fantastic first half. You know, the ball really moved, we shot it well, we scored it, but you know, we struggled defensively. And you know, when you're a team that's struggling like we have this year, you know, we tend to find something that gets you. You know, whether it's defense, offense, rebounding, you know, turnovers. You know, you know, for us, that ended up being defense, and we just didn't defend very well in the second half, and they shot it well. You know, it's a bad combination. So we'll be back in here this afternoon, and we look forward to a good, hard, tough practice this afternoon.
getting back underway with the game here, and the Trojans giving the ball away in a really dangerous area for the Lancers. So, and Saga there not quite being able to take full advantage of it, but so far the intensity's been high, and that's been clear to see to the viewers back at home. And I think that's just been deemed as a foul there on Yaitha Paredes, I think it was.
I think so. And 4 will be going to the free throw line for Trinidad State. But again, I think our girls, when we can get pressure on them, Trinidad's going to struggle a little bit against that pressure. Madison Bush-Lewis, very, very good defender. We got a couple girls coming off the bench we're going to be able to put pressure on. And we have enough height, enough strength inside to certainly give them some issues. But, by no means is Trinidad just going to roll over here. I mean, we're a few minutes into the game, and it's not 24-2. It's 11-6, maybe going on 11-7. So give Trinidad some credit here for hanging around.
That is 3 from 3 in terms of trips to the line so far tonight for Ramon. I was saying before the game coach the fact that Trinidad State at the moment are 58% from the free throw line for the entire season, and we've spoken at length about what numbers exactly would the coach like to see, and that falls quite well under what you want to see as a coach.
It does. I mean, as a college program, men or women, that baseline is usually 70%. So your expectation that you shoot at least 70%.
Devoy then for the Lancers, kicking back out to Paredes for 3 is good. And that seems to be a bit of a trademark move for the Lancers so far this year. So many times we've seen them go through the middle, kicking back out to the corner 3, and Yaitha Paredes just seems lethal from that range.
She is, and she hasn't had a great first half. She's obviously a very, very talented player. She's most likely going to sign at a Division I school or really good Division II school. But I mean, the thing about her is just she's in the gym all the time. She plays hard, even though some shots might not have dropped for her here in the first half of the season. I think we can all see that it's coming, and as well as our girls have played, they're only going to get better. So that's really why I think that they're going to end up being able to compete for a conference championship, a chance to go to the national tournament.
Martinez there with the 2, no good. Just picked up there by number 21, Ali Bishop for the Trojans. It's going to be Vermont handing it off to Santana Diaz. Goes back to Vermont. The quick fire out there from number 10, Servian, and ends up airballing and going out the back of the court.
Yeah, she just had a tough time getting her feet under, and the shot kind of caught her teammates off guard there. But usually you can tell, at times Trinidad State can get penetration, causes us some issues, and when we're able to stop penetration, it seems like they can get what they want out of it.
Just a quick substitution there from Coach Larson. Number 1, Davis, is in for number 2, Ria Saga. Devoy working hard to get to the rim, finishes it well through the pressure from Trinidad State.
Lucy's really come off of that knee injury strong, and really found her role. Just tough, gritty girl. Just love her to death. Love watching her. She's going to rebound the ball, unselfish, sets great screens, and when she gets the opportunity, she'll score.
It's the one thing that, having watched Lucy over the last, obviously the beginning of last season, and obviously getting super unlucky with that knee injury. There's a really good handoff there by Bush-Lewis as well for the 2 boards for Martinez. But for Lucy, having that knee injury relatively early on to the season last year, I think her attitude about it's always been really good, and the whole idea of I'm just going to bounce back, and when the time comes, it will come.
Yep. And it's one of the things that nobody says anything, but everybody notices just how hard she works. And the time she got her knee injury, and until they gave her rehab to do, you see her up in the weight room, up in the fitness center. She's not looking for any fanfare. She is just up there working, doing everything that she's been asked to do to get better. And she's still doing rehab to these days, and she's got to do more than everybody else. And when you've had that type of injury, that's just what it is. And sometimes it tests you. Are you going to come through this? Are you not going to come through this? Is it time to do something else? And she's one of those people that is just absolutely stuck with it. And, I think everybody here at EWC is just thrilled to see her success.
And it's one of those things of when athletes get injuries, obviously it's a real teller of how strong your willpower has to be. I mean, we've got a couple of people in the golf team right now. You know, we've got Josh Lane, who unfortunately has torn his MPFL. He's had his surgery on it, and we're hoping that he can try and get back to the spring season. But you've also got the likes of Landon Gilmore. He's just working out. He tore a muscle in his shoulder, so he's going to be out for at least another 6 weeks. And it's one of those things of, I've spoken to both of them at length about it, and they're both obviously massively gutted because they're not able to do the right thing they love doing. So I think it's a real testament to Lucy, the fact that she's got such a good attitude, had such a good attitude.
Oh, she has, absolutely. Just absolutely the type of kid you love to have on campus. So thrilled to have her here, and look forward to following her career after she leaves EWC.
Just casually training that 3-pointer as well. Make it look so easy. So many times you stand here, well, certainly I stand here in the gym, try and do 3-pointers, and I just make it look a lot harder.
Yeah, but you guys make swinging a golf club look easy, so.
I suppose. And the foul there, drawn in by Martinez, and unfortunately there, the Trojans just were never going to get on top of her there, and number 22, Santana Diaz, gets her second foul of the evening.
It looks like Trinidad State has gone to his own defense, and our girls are doing a good job. They're able to ball screen against it and then create some advantages inside. So the girls have done a great job with that the last couple times down the court.
It's also been one of the things it's been a theme of the season so far, is that whether it's the way that Coach Larson just has his girls set up, but they seem to deal with zone defenses very well.
They do, and they saw it against Southeast last weekend, and they didn't make a ton of shots against it, but the ball moved and they got good shots, and I think they're going to be more prepared today for it, and I think probably more prepared going down the stretch, because I think our girls are going to be a very difficult matchup in our conference, and I think they're probably going to see a lot of zone.
In a winning percentage for the season, and Coach coming into this second part of the season now, how important is it for a team like Coach Larson's to be going into the second half with a winning percentage?
It doesn't do anything but help you. I mean, psychologically, you just makes you feel good about what you're doing. The girls are seeing some success, and they feel like the things they're doing are going to continue to lead to more success. You watch the girls here; they just really share the ball well.
Coach Larson has shown a little bit of frustration, I think, the fact that they didn't get it over to the other side of the court, but nevertheless, I mean, you look at the defense, certainly on the last play, and they've been containing the Trojans very well.
Oh, absolutely, and again, they can control penetration against Trinidad State. Trinidad State's going to struggle with it. Trinidad State's shooting just over 31% from the arc, which isn't bad, but I think they're doing it a lot off penetration and kicking the ball out. And again, our girls are doing such a good job of taking away the penetration. They're having a tough time getting clean looks.
Bush Lewis then going to Davis, inside for Devoy. That's a certain foul there on Mims.
Yeah, again, our girls are able to get the ball to the elbow there against the zone and then just look high-low out of it, create an advantage.
It's going to give Alexandra Mims, the freshman coming from Denver, Colorado, and she's had quite an impressive bench record so far this season. I know that she's a figure that we see a lot coming off the bench for the Lancers, but she always seems to make quite a big impact.
She does. She handles the ball well, makes good decisions, and she'll defend. You see her out there right now just talking and directing traffic. So this is where Trinidad is going to struggle, is against our pressure.
Run on. Good marked up by Davis. O'Hara looking for a way to the rim.
Good move.
No good. Well defended there again by the Lancers. Now to Bush Lewis on the counter-attack for the Lancers. Out to Villarreal. Now Devoy, and just a bit of a stray pass there, and it's going to be turned over.
It was a good look, good spot against the zone for sure. She knew what she was looking for, just a little bit too much on.
Serbian going over to O'Hara. Now to Ramon for three. She's sticking the backboard, and No good there. Rebounded then by Lucy Devoy. Bush Lewis allowed to run via Real for 3. No good.
Rayla's a really good shooter, so I mean, if she gets going, she's going to make it 2, 3, 4 of those in a row.
Looking for an option, finds Lopez Cuco. Now hands it back off to Servian. Servian now going to Lopez Cuco and given a travel against Lopez Cuco there.
Yeah, she got herself turned and just turned into a tough spot.
20 seconds left on the clock then for the Lady Lancers to see out this quarter. See there, Coach Larson giving his instructions.
We'll get the last shot here.
Davis for the 3. Oh, how unlucky is that?
Yeah, they did a really good job overloading the zone there. Trinidad bit in and went to the ball, and of course left us a corner 3 that just ripped out.
Well, Coach, give us your assessment on that first quarter. Obviously leading 21-7. It's a great start to the game for the Lady Lancers, and what can they do to really try and consolidate their lead here?
You know, I think for the most part they just need to keep moving on, continue to do what they're doing, trust what they're doing. You know, Trinidad State's probably the one that really needs to make some adjustments here. They've got to find a way to get some clean looks at the basket. And our girls are big enough, athletic enough, and well coached enough that, you know, we're going to stay in front of them, and it's going to be tough. Defensively, Trinidad State probably needs to stay in the zone. Just they need to figure out their rotations. I think if our girls can get the ball inside against the zone, either short corner, mid post, they're probably going to pick this thing apart. So I think our girls just need to stay the course. Trinidad State, they need to sort some things out here because our girls are playing well and moving the ball well.
Well, join back with us in about 2 minutes when we are going to get this game back underway. It was the fact that both teams just got very quickly out of that. With a break there in between the quarters as Ramon steals it away from Bush Lewis. Fails to finish, and that was a good contest there by number 5, Madison Bush Lewis. Now Davis trying to go on the other end. Successfully finishes off the 2.
Yeah, you know, that was one of those things that Trinidad really needed. They had the turnover, they had the layup, you know, we contested it, you know, we hustled down and we got the rebound and turned that into 2 more points for us. And, when you're playing well, this is what happens.
Yeah, just kind of got through, Coach. I mean, you're talking about the hustle and trying to get, you know, work hard for the ball and hope that it pays off. You know, how much or how important is that for a team to have a strong sense of the hustle?
Oh, it's vital. I mean, it's just, you know, it's the mindset of continue to move forward and get to the next play, and then that's what you do. And play hard. You play hard all the time. And, you know, we call it having a motor. Having a motor, just continue to get after it. No matter what goes wrong, what goes right, and just get to the next play. Don't hang your head.
Servian there is the one given the foul against, and that's her second of the night as well. Lewis going to bring it forward for the Lady Lancers then. Off to Saga. Now Paradis. Out to Bush Lewis. Davis. Paradis. Inside for Mims. Tested there by up to Lucas Cuco. Couldn't quite do enough to keep it inbounds, but nevertheless it's going to be a Lady Lancer ball there at the byline.
Well, good defense by Trinidad State. Gal just stayed down, kept her hands up, played long, and just wasn't able to secure the ball going out of bounds, and back to us. And I'll tell you what, Rhea Scott is really looking good tonight.
It's a lovely little move there to get away from her marker there. Saga then 3 points. It's a very welcome bonus Go towards the rim. No good, but rebounded there by Mims. And gets the 2 points. One thing actually looking at the stats before the game, coach, I mean, averaging 41 rebounds a game. I mean, I'm certainly not a massive basketball connoisseur, but I know that is a fair amount of rebounds per game.
You know, it would seem like it. What you really need to go down and you want to look at like rebounding percentage. So, of all the rebounds that were called there, what percentage of those rebounds did you actually get? So, we'll have to maybe we do a little bit of math at halftime and kind of see where we're at. You can essentially get more than 75% of the rebounds defensively. You're doing a really good job. So.
Yeah, it seems as though Davis and Mims actually blocked the shot very well, and somehow the Lady Trojans managed to keep hold of the ball.
Yeah, one of those just kind of weird items where somebody gets their shot blocked, they go to the ground, the ball falls on her, she just holds it. So we got a weird situation. We got one gal laying on the ground holding the ball and everybody else kind of standing around watching her.
Olawoy, and then her first attempt is no good from the line. Second attempt is good. She's 1 from 2 from the line, and I believe that's actually the first free throw they've missed so far today.
Yeah, that's their leading scorer, so they're going to need to find her a little bit more. One thing we can see here is that our girls really worked on their zone offense. They just look a lot smoother to what they did Wednesday night against Southeast.
Certainly sitting pretty with a 22-point lead here so far in the early stage of the second quarter. They try and drive towards the rim and no good. Well, the block coming in there from Paredes.
Yeah, and that's where Trinidad State really needs 24 of those 2 gals to get downhill and help them out. Again, Yiza, Maddie, and Sani are just so athletic, and they do such a good job staying in front that it's hard for Trinidad State to get what they need.
Shut down there, not able to even get the shot off. Bush Lewis there in the way.
She anticipates really well, and she's a girl that's starting to get a lot of recruiting attention that she deserves, and just so happy to have her here on campus and part of our student body.
She's starting to look right for Bush Lewis, but what about that finish there from Alexandra Mims?
Yeah,
really well through the pressure.
That state is really trying to not give up the perimeter. And doing that in the zone, they end up giving up. Giving up stuff inside. They're just so focused on our perimeter shooting. They can't keep the ball off the elbow. And as soon as we get it to the elbow, then we're just going to get a cut from the baseline.
Rhea Saga.
Well, you know what? When it's going well, it's going well, right? I mean, she's feeling good and aggressive, and every once in a while you throw one up that goes off the glass.
I'm pretty sure I had it up here. I'm pretty sure I had the bank.
I'm sure if we ask her after the game, she'll tell us that's what she was trying to do.
Always a humble athlete, Rhea Saga. She'll be the first person to say, "Oh no, that wasn't intentional whatsoever."
Now she will downplay it. She's certainly one of those self-deprecating human beings for sure, and very, very humble.
Bush Lewis then looking to create some magic for the Lancers. Stolen away though by Ramon. Oh, and the hustle there by Bush Lewis. I mean, didn't necessarily come away with the ball, but you can appreciate the effort that she put in there.
She did. Great job getting back. Never gave up on the play. And that's what you were talking about earlier, just having great hustle all the time. And that's what she does. And that's what everybody has to understand. Just because you play hard doesn't mean that it's going to work out every time. And that was a great example. She did all the right things. She still didn't get the rebound, but it is what it is. That's what usually separates really good players from really average players, is the people that just don't quit.
Villarreal back into the side then. coming on for Paradise. Push loose again then to bring it forward for the Lancers.
She'll initiate the offense here.
Vera going for the three-point attempt. Just catching too much of the rim there. So now Trojans. Diaz giving it away then to Vera. Chance for Mims maybe for a layup. Maybe a turnover there on Mims.
Yeah, really good play by Trinidad State again. Gal didn't try to do too much, got her hands up on a piece of the ball and ended up turning it into a jump ball. And we Trinidad's ball and come back from this timeout.
Hi, my name is Bowden Leodal. I'm a sophomore at Eastern Wyoming College, majoring in pre-health sciences. I want to invite you to Eastern Wyoming College for your continued education. We have small class sizes, a family-friendly environment, and we are affordable while offering many scholarships. EWC offers so many program and career certificates, so we're sure there's something for you. Check us out online at ewc.wyo.edu or call us at 307-532-8230. Charge into your future with us at Eastern Wyoming College. Lancer out.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gents, after that quick little ad break. Lady Lancers still in their timeout. So Coach, just give us a little bit of perspective on the boys' season kind of upcoming. What can the visitors, or what can the spectators at home expect out of the boys for the next couple of weeks?
You know, in the first half, we played pretty well. We lost a lot of close games, and you know, like you said, didn't have a great second half against Southeast. And you know, right now our main focus on the fact that we have not played a conference game yet. We're 0-0, and we really believe in who we are and what we're doing. And you know, we just need to come together a little bit more. We need to be a little bit more unselfish with the ball, a little bit more unselfish on defense, and we need to rebound better. And if we do that, we really feel like we've got a spot in this conference, and we're going to compete well.
Villarreal there with a fantastic three-point attempt. And Coach, I mean, it's one thing that I've always said to you, in the fact that I always feel like every time I walk by the gym, I've either got the women's basketball team or the men's basketball team in here grinding away and getting the business done in practice.
Oh, and you know, like I said, we're happy with our kids and our work ethic. It's one of those deals. We just feel like we're a step away right now. We're a step away. We've, you know, had some things that have changed a little bit. We're not quite as big as what we had hoped to be as far as being able to play on the inside, but you know, there are no excuses. I mean, you just have to get out there and figure it out. You know, rebounding is about effort. And you know, being a little bit smaller, we got to put forth more effort and be a little more cognizant of, you know, what's going on the defensive glass. And we do that, we will have a chance.
Oh, and again, just there, the clear effort that Bush Lewis puts in there, and she's smiling after that one, after taking a little bit of a tumble after the block, but again, just speaks to the amount of effort that she puts into each and every challenge.
She does, and you know, Maddie's one of the, you know, best athletes in Region 9, and just a really solid player, great kid, and she's going to give you everything that she has.
Oh, it's a great block there by Saga, and did enough to put off number 21 Ali Bishop. It's going to be a chance now for the Lancers to break away again on the counter. Saga at the corner.
Yeah, and you know, Ria's had some moments where she struggled a little bit, but she was in the gym yesterday working with Coach Larson one-on-one, and you know, we can see the success and byproduct of that work today.
Just an observation here, really, Coach. I mean, number 4, Blanca Orianas Ramon for the Trojans, evidently one of their key players, and has been doing a really good job in, you know, stealing the ball away from the Lady Lancers. Not quite being able to take advantage all the time of those opportunities, but certainly looking at it, I mean, part of that can be down to the fact that Bush Lewis is just defending her very well.
Oh, absolutely. And she is just, she's a next level player, and she's going to be tough to play against for sure.
There's the first 3-point made there for the Trojans. Number 22, Santana Diaz.
Yeah, and Blanca looks like she's a very, very good player. She had several takeaways. She's got her hands on the ball. She's just very, very active out there.
Martinez going to ping it out to Saga for 3. Is good again. Make that 4 3-pointers, I think, for Ria Saga.
Yeah, it's good to see her sort of break out and just have a big game. It's going to give her confidence going into the conference season.
And the immediate response there by the Trojans, Cantoria responding with a 3-pointer of her own. Saga pump faking the 3. Bush Lewis moving out to Villarreal for 3. No good. Rebounded there. Certainly looked like by number 22, Santana Diaz. But it's going to be a Lady Lancer ball as number 10, Morgan Williams, and number 11, Lucy Devoy coming into the game. Number 2, Ria Saga, and number 12, Ariadna Martinez coming out of the game as well. And Coach, just give us a little bit of an insight on Ariadna, and she's been a great presence for the team. She's certainly one that you see her in the hallway. It's really nice, and she's always got a smile on her face. And just give us the perspective of her as an athlete.
She's another one of those gals, just really, really humble, and but is really talented. And you see just how hard she's worked here in the last couple of years, and she really just found her role. When the ball gets inside to her, she's really worked on her post move. She's got good feel for the game in there. She's got a variety of moves, and defensively she's tough. She is strong. She'll stay in front of you. She'll rebound. She has all the fundamental skills to become a really good 4-year player. So it'll be really interesting to see where she ends up next year as well. But she's one of those really vital components to our team.
And Coach, obviously just give me a bit of a rundown on what does the recruitment process look like for these guys and girls that are going to be looking to go to 4-year institutions for the basketball? Because obviously, certainly looking at it from a golf perspective, obviously that's all very much underway and started. Volleyball will very much be the same. Obviously we had Annika Cantrell signing for Dakota State. So just give me the rundown on what does that look like for basketball.
Same type of process I would imagine for everybody, whether it's golf, volleyball, or basketball, that you are getting a hold of coaches. You're talking to coaches about what they need, what they want, what are they looking for in a player, and you try to give them the options of which players that we have that would best fit who they are in their system. And there's some different computer programs and software that we use as well to make sure that names and videos get out to these coaches, and there's other coaches that we have more of a personal relationship with, and we'll be talking to them and hopefully can help our guys all find a good fit.
Ramon coming forwards now for Trinidad State.
Just kind of forcing yourself to the basket there, and when you're down 30 in the first half, you kind of got to do that. You're the best player, and they need to force the action a little bit.
There, the foul then being given on, was it Shamari Smith, I think, for the block. The 2-point there not quite being made good.
Well, it was
but
pretty.
Again, the hustle there from Lupez Kuko, I think, did enough to retain the ball.
Yeah, pretty well executed out of bounds play, and they just, our girls forced them into a tough shot and ended up being a loose ball.
Ramon with the inbound ball. Lupez Coco for a 2-point attempt, no good, but then rebounded there by Olaweonin.
Yeah, and possession will go over to the Lancers here.
30 seconds left then in this second quarter, and Coach, 30-point lead going into this second half, and certainly looking like they've been very impressive so far.
Oh, they have. And our girls, got their footing, felt good about playing against the zone. They moved the ball 2, 3, 4 passes, and either they're getting an open 3 or they're getting a basket right under the rim, and really couldn't be more impressed with our girls right now.
Ramon kicking it over and doing well.
Yeah, nice little break by Trinidad State to end the half. But you know, our girls go in 28, up 28, and I'm sure Coach Larson will make, you know, a couple of adjustments just because he's going to have to rotate a few more girls in here in the second half and probably go over the expectations for them. And that the expectation is, you know, he doesn't want any let off from anybody. You know, he doesn't want to take the foot off the pedal, and girls coming in need to execute just as well as the girls who start.
Yeah, and certainly looking at that first half and the intensity that they had, you know, they've done really well in pushing back Trinidad and really keeping them exactly where they are and where they maybe should be. But join us back here in a little while when we're going to bring you some stats from halftime, hopefully, and be able to give you a little bit more insight on the basketball season upcoming. 28 points, you're going to be pretty happy. And obviously, I know Coach Larson is a bit of a perfectionist as per se, and would love to see his girls do everything perfect all the time. But I'm sure he can also understand that a 28-point lead is going to be fair game for.
In this day and age, with the three-point line, not only the three-point line, but the way the game's played, a little bit more open, a little more freedom to take those shots, a lot of things can happen. So, we have seen 25-point leads disappear if you watch enough college basketball. So, you obviously, if you're Eastern Wyoming, you want to avoid that, and you just want to keep playing your game. If you're Trinidad State, you want to get out here from the jump and make a couple shots, and all of a sudden you get it under 20, and it's a different type of game.
It's going to be Ramon here for the Trojans.
She is clever. I mean, she is a good player. Just comes up a little bit short on the runner there. That was a clever set they ran right out of the timeout. Well executed by Trinidad. They just missed a little runner in the lane.
She certainly seemed pretty nifty throughout the entirety of this
first
half.
Yeah, she really moves well.
In fact, here she is again. Ramon looking for an option, decides to go back towards number 24 O'Hara. The three-point attempt there coming in from Ola Wyonin, and it is good.
Yeah, again, Trinidad State came out, made their had two really good possessions there to start the game, start the half, and made one, missed one, and see if our girls can get back on track here.
Paredes, no good on that attempt. Sagar off to Paredes inside, and easy two-point attempt in the end for Yaitha Paredes.
Yeah, just another good hustle play. Rhea gets a offensive rebound. She didn't have to get it. She didn't have to work hard, but she did, and then Yai didn't have to cut to the basket. She could have just stood in the corner and, sulked because she missed her shot, but she didn't. She hustled and just ends up getting an easy pass from Rhea.
Ramon off to Lopez Cuco. I think that's push loose there, having been judged out of bounds.
Yep, again, she made great hustle play. She didn't get the rebound, but she created a loose ball. That created another loose ball, and then she ended up getting a steal and just unfortunately stepped out of bounds.
And on now to O'Hara on the far corner. O'Hara not quite being able to get it away, and Saga takes it away from her. Saga going to Devoy, no good on the layup. But Paredes is going to come back out and recycle it now with Saga now going for the three. And it's good yet again.
That might be her fifth one of the day, so I mean, she is really feeling it. When you look at a game that's 53-23 and 30-point difference, and she's got 15 of those points on threes.
Certainly really finding herself beyond the arc so far tonight.
Yep. It looks like Trinidad State's trying to run a little bit of that Euro action up top, a bunch of handoffs and pitchbacks, and just trying to create an advantage off of it.
And Ramon's pass there being picked off by Saga. Now Paredes going to fake the three-point attempt. Devoy going over to Saga. Now Paredes for the corner three. Not quite good.
Nope, but a great ball movement, just great execution by our girls. Shot, fake, pass, move the ball, and get an open look in the corner.
O'Hara and Saga there was really savvy to that slight mishandle by O'Hara, and she's going to benefit off of it as well with the two-point attempt.
Yeah, she's gonna end up with a pile tonight. She has played so well, and just so impressed with her, and just seeing her play aggressive and without hesitation.
55-23 as Trinidad State call their first timeout of the quarter. And coach, I mean, if you are Trinidad's coach, Alvin Nyango, what are you saying to your players here?
Right now it's a time to, as a coach, if their effort is good and they're trying to do everything that you've gone through in practice, it's not a time to really get upset. You're not coaching effort and attitude. You're just trying to find a way to cut into this. Obviously down 30 in the third quarter, it's tough to come back from, and that's not what you're talking about. You're in there, you're talking about, what are we going to do on the next play? What are we going to do to, score the next basket and get a stop? Can we go score, stop, score here, and, we cut into the lead a little bit? And, you know, if by the end of the half you got this down to, say, 24-25, you feel pretty good about that. And then at the end of the fourth quarter, if you can get that one under 20, you know, you start making progress, you start taking steps forward, you feel good about your program. And Trinidad State just looks like a young program and looks like they're coming along. They run good stuff. They defend. They, you know, when you compare them to us, our girls look like they're just in a more established program at this point.
And it must be said as well in the fact that Trinidad State, I mean, we've spoken so much in the past of controlling what you can control and, you know, not being too caught up on the uncontrollables. And, you know, you could argue that Trinidad so far have given the ball away quite a bit, have, you know, been a little bit lax in possession. But to be completely honest with you, there have been moments where they've looked very good in possession and even out of possession, you know, containing the Lance offense quite well. So, you know, it's one of those things kind of you know, just echoing what you said, and doesn't look like they've played a whole bunch bad, but they have been outplayed by the Lady Lancers. You know, they've just been on a different level.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, again, they come out of a timeout. They ran a good set, got a decent look, but you know, our girls are, you know, kind of Johnny on the spot, not giving up a lot of second chances.
Williams there, not quite going to get the 2 pointers there, and it's going to be rebounded by Centennial Diaz. It's going to be Cantoria for the Trojans to bring it forward. Diaz going for the 3-point attempt, no good. Rebounded there by Ariadna Martinez. Now a chance for a fast breakaway. Out for Devoy. Going back into Bush Lewis. Goes for the 2, and what a finish that is by Bush Lewis.
You know, with Maddie's athleticism, she can get that shot off just about any time she wants, and she's proven that. I think she struggled with it a little bit early, and she's another one of those girls we just see in the gym a lot, you know, working on that move, and it's really come up big for her. We've seen in several really close games where they've sort of turned her loose at the top of the key and allowed her to make a move and just go one-on-one and create a shot. And you know, when the Lancers need something, that's kind of where they're going to go, and they're going to let her make a decision, whether she gets a shot off or she finds somebody else open. And you know, really a great luxury. And we feel like on the men's side, you know, we've got that too, and our point guards, and you know, we're working on it, and just a matter of getting there right now.
Exactly that. Well, charge being called against Yaita Paradise there. Some objection from the Lance bench as would be expected, but nevertheless the Trojans going to have the ball here, and it's going to be right now through Bishop. Olaweonin.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up 34, you might not get every call.
No, but nevertheless, it's going to be turned over there by the Trojans.
Yeah, again, another good possession by Trinidad. They, you know, do a good job running their offense, and again, you know, our length, our athleticism just gives them a little bit of trouble.
Paradise is going to go to Ariana Martinez, who draws in the foul by Maran Sevian.
You know, and that's what Ari's really good at. You know, when she gets isolated down there, you know, she will go to work. She's got a little step bounce hop move and, you know, little spin shake move, and she will keep defenders off balance.
And Martinez, good on that first attempt. The sophomore forward, standing at 6 foot, and to be fair, I mean, maybe it's because I've been around some of the other guys a little bit more often, but she doesn't look as tall as 6 foot as maybe from up here. But
right, you know, you see her, you know, next to Yai, and Yai looks like she's a little bit bigger than Ari, and then of course, you know, she stands next to the guys and she looks a little smaller.
Martinez then again drawing in the foul, and that was a good bit of play there by Paradise, just to nick the ball off of the Trojans there, and it's going to be a timeout.
Yeah, you know, that all started with Yiza defensively. You know, they were on and up the line, and you know, Yiza was playing near hand, near foot, got a hand on the ball, and able to knock it away, take it the other way, and then, you know, instead of forcing a shot up, she was just unselfish, made the next pass, and I don't know if they're going to call that foul on the floor, or if we're going to shoot 2 here.
Well, Coach, I mean, just give us a little bit of perspective then, kind of looking towards next year. Obviously, we were talking about recruitment a little bit earlier for your guys and girls that are going to be leaving EWC at the end of the year. But how's the recruitment going in terms of bringing people in? What's the latest on that?
You know, it's going really well. We've signed one point guard out of Utah, really, really talented kid. He'll probably be in the running for Player of the Year out of Utah. Just a dynamic point guard who can score it, really sees the court. He just has a tendency to make the right play, and that's really what you want out of your point guard. So we're excited about that, excited about him being able to come in here and lead. And right now we're recruiting a handful of other guys. We expect that we'll be bringing in 5 or 6, and a couple international guys, a couple local kids, and a couple kids in the immediate region. So it's really a busy time of year right now, and everybody's ready to get their recruiting going, and we're the same way. And so we hope to have everything buttoned up by hopefully mid-March.
Perfect. So it is going to be the 2 free throws again for Ariadna Martinez. She makes good of the first one.
Yeah, she really looks like she shoots it well. Ball comes off her hand, very true, no side spin, and you can just tell she's really worked hard at becoming a better player.
Not quite good on the second attempt, but nevertheless it was a good run. She's now 5 from 6 from the line so far today.
Well, you know how it goes. You tell somebody how good they are and you jinx them. So.
Yeah. It's also that thing of you're not, as much as you'd love to, you're not going to make every single one of those shots. You're not going to make every single one of the free throws the same way that you're not going to make every 6-foot putt. It's one of those things of you learn to accept that actually you're not always going to make those kinds of shots all the time.
Yeah, and that is a fact, and it's all on how you deal with it. So when you miss a 6-foot putt, I'm sure you got to go. Hopefully it didn't go by the hole too far, and you just go knock it in and get to the next hole. Again, good offense from Trinidad State. They really move the ball well, and just trouble getting a shot to go down.
It's going to be Tanira handing it off to Paredes. No good on the 3. Rebounded there by number 24, Gabby O'Hara. Now Cantora. Holloway draws in the foul, and it's going to be 2 shots to her. The foul given against Morgan Williams there.
Yeah, nifty little move up top. She's really trying to get back to a right hand, and kind of threw the defense off, crossed him up, and got in the lane and got fouled.
Is 2 from 4 from the line tonight so far, and it's one thing that actually, in terms of the statistics, they've been a lot better at tonight than their seasonal average at least. And Bush Lewis there doing well to finish through the contact, getting a lot of reaction there from the bench.
Yeah, great move. Showed great athleticism and control of her body, and that's what she does best. She's one of those kids that can take over a game at any moment. She can go out there and be very controlled and move the basketball, and she's going to end up with 5, 6, 7 assists and 7, 8 points and a handful of rebounds and just very positive statistics. And when you need her to, she can really turn it on and become more of a scorer, and she might drop 25 or 35 on you and still have a handful of assists and rebounds. So she'll do whatever the team needs. She's quick on her feet, as you just saw there.
The 3-point attempt there from Servian, no good, and the rebound by Paredes. Bush Lewis, no good on that time.
Really good decision by her, though. I mean, again, the shots aren't always going to go down, like you alluded to before, but did you make the right decision to get there? And she certainly did. She got up the court quickly. Nobody was open, broke her feet down, pulled up for the little 12-footer, and just rimmed out on her.
Tanira really working in towards the rim, not quite being able to get that 2-pointer to drop. Mims. It went back out to Tanira, who then kicked it all the way out. It's now with Bush Lewis. Back to Williams. Paredes. Williams, Bush Lewis, going to fire away the 3. Just a little bit short on that attempt, and it's going to be O'Hara now for the Trojans to bring it forward.
Yeah, a couple more of those shots go down, and I know we're up by almost 40 here, but I mean we could be up 65 as well.
I mean, you look at it now though, Coach. I mean, with just over 12 minutes still left to play at basketball, they're at their season average in terms of points right now at 63. So they're doing a good job through the game so far.
Oh, absolutely. And most impressive part about our women right now is just how the ball moves. They're playing very unselfishly. Ball's getting multiple touches in the half-court offense, and girls are taking good shots. Even if not all the shots go down, you're taking good shots.
And the first attempt there by Gabby O'Hara is no good. But makes good of the second attempt, and now it's going to be a chance for Davis to bring the ball forward for the Lancers. Moves it over to Villarreal. Villarreal looking for an option. Goes to Tanera, who does well to shake off her marker. Tanera finishes it really well.
Yeah, nifty move inside. She got in there, got the defense up in there, and just was able to step through.
Santana Diaz going to Servian. Backing over to Santana Diaz. No good on the attempt, but Williams there with the rebound.
Trinidad State struggles a little bit, trying to find an interior presence that, maybe they just don't have. Probably gonna have to go out and recruit a little bit more on that. But, on the perimeter, they really move the ball well, and, they get good looks, just haven't knocked a bunch of them in yet.
I think that's probably been one of the main differences between the two teams so far, is actually just that field goal percentage for the Trojans. I think is just going to be that much significantly worse than the Lancers so far. But as you say, the ball movement and the general play from Trinidad has actually looked very promising and very good.
Well, it looks solid. I mean, last possession they had, they moved the ball. Their best scorer, Blanca Ramon, got the ball on a cut and just came up a little bit short on it. Another sub for us here. Looks like Tessa's coming in, fresh off a volleyball season.
Tessa Kilchenman, the Australian freshman.
Yeah, Tessa's watching her play this fall in basketball. She has really caught on quickly, and she is very, very aggressive.
Rebounds this one. Davis moving it over to Villarreal. Goes inside for Kilchenman. Draws in the foul. And she's going to have 2 attempts from the line.
Yeah, and she is physical, and she's very aggressive. So when the ball goes in there, and she's got to be 6'2", I would guess. She moves well. She's got good hands, and she knows exactly what she's going to do when she's there.
And sinks that first one with ease. Obviously had a little bit of a dabble in with netball, and that's how she's got her shooting down.
Right, and you watch her shoot. She just looks like somebody who's very adept at playing the game, and if she's somebody who's stuck with it or maybe got started at a younger age, she would be quite the prospect. And again, just another super kid to have on campus. Get to talk to her, spend any time at all with her. Sitting down, eating lunch, she is a ball of energy.
It's always a shining beam of sunlight is, I think, the way that I would describe her, is always positive, always smiling, and even when she's not feeling too great herself, she'll always try and put a smile on someone else's face.
Absolutely.
Just speaks to her character. Well, in that third quarter there, the Lady Lancers stretching out their lead to 40 points. And Coach, you were talking about how maybe the Trojans would like to see them bring that down to, say, 25 or maybe even 20 points, but losing out on that extra 10 points now obviously 30 points before or when we were starting this quarter. What do you think that the Trinidad State coach is going to really be talking to their his players about?
You know, when you've got 1 quarter left and you're down 40, you know, again, probably not a moment to get upset unless you really have effort and attitude issues. And if you have effort and attitude issues, those need to be addressed, you know, directly. And, you know, you got to show some pride. You got to get out there and do a little bit more from the standpoint of just effort and attitude. But I don't think that's the case here. I don't think this is an effort and attitude issue at all. I think this is just, hey, this is where we're at. We're playing hard. You know, we're moving the ball. We're getting good shots. We just haven't dropped them. Let's continue doing that. Let's do a better job getting in front of them. That's probably about all you need to do. And you're down 40. Hey, can we get this down to 30? You know, give yourself a goal. You know, you can cut 10 points out of this. And I think from our Lancer standpoint, well, you know, we got, you know, a whole different group of girls in there, and we don't want to see it go under 40. You know, let's get out there, let's have fun, but, you know, let's play the game the right way.
See the Lancers on court right now. Number 1, Davis. Number 4, Tinera. Number 13, Villarreal. Number 15, Kilchman. And number 25, Smith. Kilchman for 3 is good, and you could just see by the celebrations that they're just absolutely thrilled for her.
Yeah, you know, and it's always fun to see because you know that she's just a favorite on the team, you know, and for a girl who doesn't get to play a whole lot, you know, everybody's really happy to see her out there. And like we were talking about earlier, just such a fantastic kid and just infectious personality.
And I'm sure that replay is probably going to be something that the girls try and get up on their phones after the game.
Oh, I got to think. Yeah, that one's going to be all over social media for sure.
I would not be surprised if the old Instagram story on Tessa's Instagram page is going to be filled with that.
Oh, absolutely.
But Tinera there doing really well to rebound the ball and, you know, make sure that they still finished off that play with 2 points.
Yeah, hustled in, got the backside rebound, and you know, here again, Trinidad State, you know, runs good little set, get a slip, but you know, actually the pass is on the money, but we're just able to knock it away.
Oh, and there's another one by Tinera this time.
Yeah, Taisha just open in the corner and, you know, proving that she's a good shooter. You know, this is an opportunity for our girls to, you know, show Coach Larson, like, hey, I can play, I can get in, I can help this team, and, you know, you want to take advantage of that opportunity off the bench here. The last thing you want to do, you know, if you're EWC is come off the bench and only look for your own shot or, you know, only look for your own highlight. You know, come out there, move the ball, be unselfish, and then, you know, take the shots that you get and, you know, prove that you can help this team down the stretch. And I'm sure that's what Coach Larson's really looking for.
It's been clear coming out of that break at the quarter that, you know, Trinidad have just come out a little bit slow.
You know, they have, and, you know, they don't have a lot of girls. They don't have great depth there, and those girls have probably given just about everything they have, and we've got fresh girls coming off the bench that are energetic and, you know, want to get out there and, like we said, prove to Coach Larson that, you know, they can probably earn some minutes in the conference season.
Yeah, and it was something I was actually going to ask you about earlier in terms of, you know, those times when you've got a smaller squad, and, you know, certainly in the case of Trinidad, they've only got a handful of players. You know, I think I'm looking here at maybe 10 or 11 players. You know, how much of a difference is that going to make in terms of what you can do as a coach?
You know, it makes a little bit of a difference in practice, but, you know, again, you got to get creative. Looks like they've got 8 girls dressed, and, you know, so you look at it and say, well, you can't really scrimmage 5-on-5, but you can do a lot of things 5-on-0, and you can scrimmage 4-on-4, and you can, you know, throw a coach out there with a uniform on or play 5-on-4, and, I mean, you just have to get creative with things. I mean, the easiest thing you can do as a coach is make excuses when things aren't going well. And you make those excuses, your kids will make those excuses. So, you know, to me, it looks like, you know, whatever it is that they're working on in practice, they're going out and they're doing here because they execute. You know, again, they are not just running around out there. So, you know, kudos to, you know, Trinidad State's coaching staff.
Foul there just being given against Kilchman, and almost just looked a little bit too enthusiastic at that certain challenge.
Yeah, she did a great job. She was near hand, near foot, got a piece of the ball, and then just, she was a little too physical trying to go get the ball. But, I'm sure Coach Larson loves the effort.
Villarreal then to bring it forward for the Lancers, going over to Tanera. Kilcherman. Tanera. Back to Villarreal. Now out to Williams.
It really looks like they're trying to get the ball inside so they can go high-low here, and they just go right to Tessa.
And Kilcherman shot no good, but rebounded then by the Trojans, number 4, Ramon. And I think so far in this second half, Coach, the Lancers have done a really good job in terms of silencing Ramon and just really being able to tune her out of the game a little bit more.
Yeah, they have. They've gotten in front of her and forced her to give the ball up, forced the ball to move to some other places, and I'm sure they forced quite a few turnovers. So, yeah, our girls have done just a fantastic job.
Kilcherman for 3, no good on that one. Yeah, you could hear from the bench that they were shouting another one.
Yeah, she was a little off balance on that one, maybe a little too aggressive, but she's not going to turn them down right now, and she's going to continue to work forward.
Ola Woyen with a good finish there. In that drive for the Trojans. Now it's going to be pinged over to Williams. Williams driving inside, and
the physical drive. She went really hard to the basket and forced contact. But she had an advantage. Even if she initiated contact there, she certainly had an advantage when she turned the corner. So, something as a coach you really want to see, because you're going to get somebody's best when they will go out and they will play that physical.
Williams just taking a moment there as well. She's just shaking her hand around. I think she landed pretty heavy on that either hand or wrist.
Yeah, it looked like she certainly went down hard for sure. Probably affected her free throw there.
Yeah, she certainly looks like she's struggling with that hand a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully she's not injured too much. Just got a little stinging sensation in her hand. Looks like she's moving it okay. Sure.
There you go. And manages to get that second one and does well, considering when you fall over like that, sometimes it can, certainly if you bash it pretty hard, it can have quite an effect.
Yeah, it stings a little bit, doesn't it? It starts to get a little tingly on you. So looks like she handled it all right, made the second free throw.
And O'Hara there. I think good move there from O'Hara just to come back round and inside, but unfortunately just stepping out of bounds for her.
Yep.
Tanera is going to inbound this to Villarreal.
Well, one thing you can say about the girls that we've got out on the court right now is that they are physical. They are strong. They aren't going to give up a whole lot on rebounding, and they're going to set physical screens. And as we just saw when they went to the basket, they're going to draw contact. So, Coach Larson, what he loses in just a little bit of skill and maybe a little bit of athleticism makes up more so in strength there. So, and these girls execute well, and we've got some really good shooters on the court.
Pass there to Williams. Villarreal going to Kilcherman. Bounce pass inside for Shamari Smith. Fade away 2. Not quite good, but seemed like a good move, Coach.
Oh, great move. Mari is really tough. When you get her the ball inside there, again, strong, physical, and she's skilled. You can't. She's tough to guard one-on-one there. She's had some big moments here this fall, and I'm sure she's working really hard to find her way back into the primary lineup.
It's a great pass there by Kilcherman. It just seemed like she couldn't quite get her hand set in the right position and couldn't just quite get it up high enough, quick enough. The fadeaway then, that time from Shamari Smith, and she got the good take that time.
Yes, same move, different result. So, she's kind of got her go-to move, and if you don't stop it, she's going to knock that in.
Oh, wow, deep 3 there by Gabby O'Hara for the Trojans.
Yeah, we give Gabby a little bit too much room, and she's going to knock that in. Gabby O'Hara shooting 35% from the year from the arc, so she's a good shooter.
78-32 with 5 minutes or just under 5 minutes left on the clock. And Coach, I mean, as we kind of come into the tail end of this game, it's been a solid performance for the Lady Lancers, and you know, this, providing that they do see out this win, and I would like to think that they wouldn't give up over 40 points in the next 4.5 minutes. But you know,
yeah.
With that, it will take them to 10-7 on the season. Obviously, not having played any conference games yet, but you know, bringing in those results before the conference play, you know, how good is that going to be for their confidence?
Oh, I'm sure it'll be huge for them, and girls will feel really good about it, because you know, our girls, after beating Southeast by over 30 and then going to Southeast and winning in double overtime, I don't know that they felt great about that. And so now coming out here, and I think we knew that we were better than Trinidad State, and how much better, I'm not sure they knew that. And so to have a dominant performance like this, I'm sure it'll give them a lot of confidence going into the Northwest game.
And just a foul there being given on Taisha Tenera. It's going to be her third of the afternoon.
Yeah, again, the lineup we have out here, these girls are not going to lack in enthusiasm and physicality.
Williams trying to get to the rim and just not quite making full advantage of it. I think Williams is going to try and come out here. I think she's just signalled to Coach Larson that her hand's giving her a little bit of bother, so hopefully that's not too serious.
No, hopefully she can shake that off. But, I mean, you know how it is. You fall down, and the first thing you do is you put your hands out to support you. And so she probably sprained her wrist a little bit. Kind of have to work through that. What a nifty move there.
It's a great move there by Ramon. Those opportunities for her have been very sparse so far in this quarter, but
yeah, obviously
still showing her quality.
Yeah, obviously she was really on the scouting report of our girls need to get in front of her, and they've done that.
And that's a great block there by Mims, getting in front of Diaz before she could get the ball away. Davis. And the coach for Trinidad State evidently not liking the call, but nevertheless, play goes on. Mims going over to Tenera, now Villarreal.
Yeah, one call at this point in the game isn't going to make any difference.
Kilchinman with the 2-point attempt, no good, and it's rebounded there by Cantoria. And then makes a drive towards the rim.
Again, what a great play by Tessa, just understanding her position, just holding her ground, putting both hands up, and she's tough to get a shot over.
It's been given as off of Kilchinman as well, so it is still going to be a retained ball for Trinidad. What can they do with it here? It's going to be Ramon for three, and is no good.
No, really good contest by us, but I mean, again, you look at Blanca, she does a really good job getting her feet ready and catching the ball, but we were a little quicker getting there and bothering her shot.
Mims going over to Villarreal then. Villarreal going to Kilchinman. Mims making a good move. I think she just received the ball a little bit later than what she asked for, but just not quite being able to take the ball underneath her grasp.
No, good execution though, and she was open, like you said, maybe a little bit late on the delivery, and I think Trinidad might have just bothered it enough to make us miss the pass.
Shot coming in there by Oliver, and there was enough there on, or enough pressure, sorry, by Trinidad State to make sure that it came back off of an EWC player. So it's going to be Cantoria to bring it in for Trojans. Now O'Hara.
Again, Trinidad State, not just quitting, not just giving up, not just throwing up the first shot. I mean, they're out there executing, moving the ball, still getting good looks, and our girls, still out there competing against, kind of doing the same thing. They're not just, up 40 thinking I'm just going to take every shot every time I get the ball. They still moving the ball, playing unselfishly, and our bench is really involved. So it's really good to see for our women's program.
That's been one of the standouts, I think, Coach, certainly from my perspective, is seeing that, you know, even when we've been slightly more reliant on the bench players coming on and making an impact, they have done. You know, they've been very good coming off the bench, and yeah, it's clear to see that Coach Larson has got a very good crop of girls here.
Yeah, he really does, and he should have it. Oh wow, what a
It's
great hustle
good. It was
play.
a good save.
It really was. Just no one there to throw it to.
The pass there by Villarreal, I think everyone just being a little bit disappointed with that one. Just a little bit too far ahead of Kilsherman there, and just a little bit out of her grasp.
Yeah, you know, pass was a little low. You know, like we said.
O'Hara again with a great finish from beyond the arc.
You know, one thing that shows is just how good, you know, some of these Trinidad State girls are. You know, good shooters, good players, but you know, our girls, especially early on, just really got into them and disrupted them, and they couldn't get off those shots.
.142 then left on the clock here. Left of the game, 78-37. You know, for Trinidad State, it's going to be two pretty hefty losses in a row. I mean, they've just come off the back of a 78-39 loss to LCCC.
Yep.
You know, they're staring a similar loss in the face here. You know, so if you're the coach there, you've just come off the back of two pretty big losses in a row. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, you got to look at it just realistically. I mean, you don't worry about the point spread. You got to worry about what you need to improve on. You know, going in there with this group of girls, from what I can see, this is not a group that needs to hear you come in there and yell and scream at them about, you know, you guys don't play hard and you guys don't pass the ball and you guys are, you know, selfish. Because I think he's done a good job coaching these girls, and they're competing and they're playing basketball. They're not being selfish. You know, this is just about the growth of the program, and find out who your next opponent is, get a good scout on them, and just continue to improve.
O'Hara from deep again, this time not quite being able to make it work.
Looks like we're going to hold the ball here and not take a shot. And
Coach Larson just telling Villarreal there to kill the ball off.
Just let it run out, just like American football. You get in victory formation and take a knee and just let time run out. So, you know, probably a good move here by our girls. And
exactly that. And as the clock winds down, it's going to be win number 10 on the season for the Lady Lancers, and it's been a very good start to the season, and this second half of the season for them has also started in the same way. It's been a promising sign, certainly from this game. You know, Coach, just give us your very quick thought before you head off. Just, you know, looking at this performance, looking at the Lady Lancers in general, what value do you think they hold for their conference play?
You know, just impressed by our girls, impressed by the way they've been practicing. You know, we usually get to see them either, you know, finish practice before we get in, or they're starting practice after we get done. And you know, I think, you know, they're a sophomore-led team, and I think they're becoming closer and closer to a player-led team, which is what they want. And I think they're really getting a lot out of, you know, leadership from Yai and from Bria and from Ari, and you know, freshman Maddie obviously has given them a lot, being point guard and, you know, really earning that spot. So I'm impressed with their sophomore leadership, and then, you know, Maddie being able to join those ranks, and I think we have girls here that can compete. We're going to have a chance to win the conference and a chance to go to the national tournament. So you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. Girls are going to go up and play a good Northwest team. Looks like I think they're 12-6. So it looks like it'll be really competitive. I just kind of went through the scores, and looks like the teams that we've played and beaten, they've sort of beaten the same teams at just about the same spread, and the teams they've lost to, we've sort of lost to kind of by the same spread. So I would expect it to be a really, really competitive game when we go up to PAL. And I just, win or lose for our girls next weekend, I think that they just need to stay the course, and they have got a chance to get to the national tournament for sure.
Well, Coach, thank you very much again for joining me up in the commentary booth, and join back with us in a little bit when we'll give you a little bit of post-game insight.
All right, thanks, Jamie. Have a good day.
Coach.
You bet.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, for the Lady Lancers tonight, it is a job well done. The 37-78 win for the Lady Lancers sees the Eastern Wyoming College Lady Lancers stretch out to a third successive win. Makes that 6 wins in their last 7 games. And that loss against McCook at home, seems very long away now. 63-50 loss that they had against McCook. But nevertheless, very impressive performances, especially from the likes of Ria Saga, Ariadna Martinez, Yotha Paredes, all standard names that we so frequently mention. And it's been a very impressive performance, and it's been a great game to be able to show you tonight. And it's been my absolute pleasure bringing it to you. I've been Jamie Lambert, and thank you for being a part of Lancer Nation, and keep the faith and keep up the support, and we will join you back here very soon for our next home game. Thank you very much.